Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
I could find a way to better advertise Apothic Press.
Just back it already.
Whoa, Crom, what are you doing here? What's this? The Madness Roku Network. Sponsorship. 1 month of playing your 30-second ad on the network 3 times a day? Oh my gosh, for $20? And you can't beat that.
Just back it already.
All right, Crom, I'm doing it. Awesome. Hi, I'm Tanner Hurley, founder of Apothic Press. I back the Madness Roku network, and so should you.
The Madness Comic Network and comic-related madness proudly presents Monday Madness, featuring pops and the richness, and indie creators from around the world. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Yo, what's up? What's up? So, I wasn't going to do a show today. What's up, Edwin? Edwin, you probably, after we do this thing, if you still want to jump in here and promote for a little bit, you can. But somebody gave me an actual topic for a Monday Madness. I never have topics.
Okay, why
It's
can't
always,
I hear you?
I can hear you, so hush.
Why can't I hear you?
Speakers, headphones.
I'm not hearing you.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Anyway, that's Jeff. Jeff can't hear me, but I can hear him.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But I can't hear you.
That's your fault. That's your speakers.
All right, let's see what happens if we do this.
Yeah, that'll probably help.
Okay, apparently I need headphones in order to hear you. Weird.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I could hear you hitting your key, so I was like, okay, I got him.
Okay. All right.
I don't understand what it is about this laptop. I only use this laptop basically so I can play Roll20, Foundry, stuff like that. I don't use it for anything else. And
Oh, there you went. I lost you. Nope. You hit something. It ain't working. Hi, Don. Can't hear you. Now you can hear me, and I can't hear you.
how's that possible?
Okay, now it's working. You bumped something because I heard it go thump, like you bumped something, and then it.
Yeah, I accidentally hit one of these audio keys over here. See, I can't stand this laptop. It's weird. I only use it for a couple of things. So I've had audio issues since day one. It works for everything else, but when it comes to audio, I have to plug in the Yeti mic and I have to put on friggin' headphones, which is why I typically.
Do you use different streaming services?
No.
You just use StreamYard? That's it?
That's it.
Because I was on a show this morning. It's a show that somebody pre-records, and they use a different streaming service, and I had to change my mic and my speakers.
I mean, the only other thing.
Back to StreamYard, I had to change them back.
The only other thing I do on here is Discord. But that's really just for like.
Now, once you use a different streaming service, sometime it defaults to a different mic or different speaker setting.
And the thing is, I'm not even using the Discord to chat through. I'm using the Discord just to pop in and grab a link so I can get to my game. Mm-hmm. You know, because like Foundry or like even Albert 20 has gone from like, you know, browser to a website kind of thing.
Right.
Because that's what we use for our local games. We just use Albert Radio. We don't need all the bells and whistles. We're not trying to put on a show or anything like that. That's just for us. So weird that I have to jump through all these effing hoops, and it's taken me months to figure out the final solution. Because technology hates me, and I don't want to hate technology, but I hate it back because it hates me.
Right.
I say as I just got my Apple Pencil 2 in the mail today, so now like I can start jamming out my artwork on my brand new used 5th generation iPad Pro.
Something in this hat poking me in the back of the head, man. It's driving me crazy. I might have to take this hat off. So, like I was saying, I didn't plan on doing a show today because I didn't have a guest. And then Jeff come up in my inbox and he's like, "Hey, man, do you want to create characters for the Marvel superheroes?"
Well, saw you pop in talking about that when we were playing. So it's like, well, Pops wants to join in. I'm all for it.
I'm all for it. I want to play. So he hit me up. "Hey, man, you want to create a character?" Gee, it was like 2 minutes to 3 right before showtime. I was like, "That'd make a great show."
Oh, have we been mouthing off all that time? I was like bitching about my computer. We've been
live. Yeah, we're live. We're live the whole time.
So so exciting for everybody. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's reality is part of what this is.
I usually get like, all right, we're going to start recording now. I was like, oh, we are already in the show. So enjoy those incredibly candid moments of my boomerism.
If I'm playing the ads, we're live, bro. Just remember that.
I didn't see ads. I just saw you waving at me, like, I can't hear you.
I played all the ads at the beginning before I popped out here.
Oh, you didn't even wait for me to get in. I see how it is. I see.
Well, I tried to put my show off at 3:00 like it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
no.
I didn't get to enjoy Laurie, man. You know how much I love that ad. Like, what is Path of the Pale?
Oh, well, we can play it. We can play it later. We can play it later. We can do that.
I don't know why. I just love that particular ad so much.
Speaking of her, she's right now in the other side of the studio setting up her closeout party for tonight.
All right.
So tune in tonight. Y'all don't want to miss that. Laurie, the final hour of the Path of the Pale Rider #4 will be out here, and we'll be hanging with Laurie. And hopefully,
for those of you
who pledges at the end,
For those of you who aren't in the know, Laurie has a multimedia comic book that includes. You remember the Cloverfield, how J.J. Abrams had all this crazy stuff going online, like little Easter egg hunts and websites, and Laurie's doing all that. She's got QR codes. There's puzzles. There's short videos that she shot that tie in to the comic book. It's this whole experience. Check it out. It's amazing.
Due to the fact that there could be an hour time difference, I'm not going to tell you exactly what time Dawn until she has it set up, and then I'll tell you.
And as always, we have to plug our own Pops Van Zandt here. Go support the Roku channel if you want a censorship-free platform. Yay! All right, you want a censorship-free platform for your content that allows for instantaneous monetization. As soon as ads are on your stuff, the AdSense starts getting split and going to you. None of the BS. Like, this is going to be the way of the future, guys. And it's a whole new market that those of us who start out on the YouTube and all this stuff haven't even thought about tapping. But this guy's ahead of the curve. Get on the Roku. Make it happen. You'll be sorry later if you don't, when somebody else gets in on it.
Look at all them people that were ground floor on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And just to give our DM for our Tomb of Annihilation games, Max has massive Roku experience. He built the Grindhouse channel, so he knows what he's doing. He can make these channels, and I used to love Grindhouse channel, man. I love all that 70s schlock film.
One the same way as a view on demand type platform, so you can go watch whatever show it is you want to watch and binge watch it from ancient history into the future.
We are looking for all sorts of content from people who are short films, comic book, documentaries, just anything cool in pop culture. Get it out here. This is the place. We can't count on YouTube anymore. YouTube is just screwing us left and right. Other platforms are not even close there. Roku has a nice audience already baked in. We just got to get more eyes on this channel. That's all. So help us make it happen.
Baked in, and we already have a foot in the door on an existing channel that airs on Roku all the time. We already got ads ready to run on the American Horrors channel to direct people over to the Madness Roku network to check out what we do. Now the cool thing about that is the American Horrors channel, Hart Fisher, he's been a guest on our shows and stuff. He's been doing that for a while, right? For years, the American Horrors channel. They've been doing that. So he has a huge following. And when we play the ads that we play there are going to be about horror comics and the horror content that we have on the network so that we can draw them horror fans over here. You know?
That's right.
We're seriously considering how we market, what we're doing. You guys know how much time I put into promoting comics and everything. This is just one more thing I'm going to be promoting every day. You're going to get sick of seeing it. But hey, Jeff's show is on Roku right now. Hey, Max's show is on Roku right now. Hey, my show is not on Roku right now. Yeah, it is. It's always going to be on Roku. Probably the show will probably be exclusively on Roku going forward, just because I want something over there that, you know, you can't just see anywhere else. But not all of our shows, obviously, will be exclusively on Roku, but some of them will. I want my YouTube channel to grow as well as build a Roku channel. I want your YouTube channel to grow as well as build a Roku channel. Nothing changes. It's just another place to drop your content and maybe get a little ad revenue or seen by people that don't know we exist.
There you go.
They don't know we exist over there.
And no censorship, no jumping through hoops, no YouTube telling you you violated some guideline, you got demonetized, you've been shadow banned, you've had decreased visibility on YouTube, and they don't even tell you why. I
don't even have time for that kind of crap. Look, unless the DMCA or the FCC sends me an email and says, Pops, that you got to take that down, I'm not going to take it down. I'm not going to listen to the scammers that claim your content. Okay, they have to go through the DMCA and have the DMCA hit me up, right? They got to follow the actual rules. This ain't YouTube. We don't just let them get away with putting claims on your content. They have to actually prove their point. They actually go to the DMCA and say, hey, look, that's mine. And then the DMCA can come to me and say, Pops, that's got to come down. Okay, there's going to be no pressure from people saying, oh, that guy's show is horrible, you need to take that down. No, that's his show. That's his business. You don't have to watch.
It's like the good old days. If you don't like it, just don't watch that particular show.
Channel, right?
Very easy.
Turn channel. Real simple.
Remember how simple things used to be? It's like, let me just turn that knob.
Yeah. And the best part of the whole thing, from the way I look at it, is the untapped audience.
Yes.
I'm a promoter. I'm trying to get eyes on what you do. Let me help you. Let me get eyes on what you do on a whole new platform. Put your ads on our channel. Bring your shows to our network.
I mean, think about it, for you guys who haven't been around quite that long. Can you imagine like being those people who first started out on YouTube and those people who blew up, you know, the people like PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, all those guys who are out there.
Yeah.
And they just got the massive, you know, platform
millions
now because
of people following them. And yeah,
this could be you, man. This is the start of the next big wave, the next tidal wave in independent creators and content.
The thing that people have to understand is we already have 40 existing shows on the network. We've had 10 people sign up with new shows already. So that's 50 shows that are going to be on our View on Demand platform. That's a big splash. And I don't mean we have 50 shows. I mean 50 shows with tons of already existing content. We are going to hit Roku with about 3,000 videos to watch. That's a lot of content, guys. We're going to make a splash over there. People are going to pop in on the Roku network and they're going to go, whoa, that show in this category, and that show in this category. We're going to separate it up, right? It's going to be hobbies, it's going to be gaming, it's going to be, you know, the shill shows, the draw streams, the movies, the episodic TV shows like what Steel Token and Heroinberg do. I hope we get them to bring their shows along too, because I'd love to have some episodic comic shows over here, right? Anything we can get, guys. This is for the stuff we love.
Like some gaming. Gaming's always nice and episodic, our campaigns.
The gaming is fun.
Everything's viable.
Gamers, everything. Chris Brown, I think he's coming back with his I hope he's coming back with his tabletop demos and stuff, because I really like doing those. You know, we played a bunch of games just like this with him setting it up on his table, putting the camera on the table, and we played card games, all kinds of different stuff. So, you know, it can be done. And I loved doing those shows. I miss doing those shows. I hope he brings that back. Everybody, bring your content to the madness. Oh, I don't care. I just want I want to make the biggest splash, the biggest video market splash anybody's ever made dropping content on a platform. Okay? I don't think anybody's ever gone to Roku and went, here's 3,000 videos dropped at once. Bam! I don't think that's ever happened on YouTube. I don't think that's ever happened anywhere. You know, I got this thing about being the guy who has to do it. I got this thing about being the guy who wants to go to the next level. What am I going to do after Roku? I don't know. Hell, maybe we'll get picked up by network, you know, cable network or something. And some of these shows might get attention, might get that kind of attention. You guys don't know. Put it out there everywhere so people can see it. It's your content. Look, you put it on Roku, some big producer from A&E's watching one day and goes, hey, that show would make a great fit. And they're offering you money to bring your show to them. Come on, guys. The whole purpose of getting your comic book seen, getting your show seen, getting your content seen, getting your ads seen, that's what this is about. Nothing else.
That's
just
right.
Another place to be seen.
To build your audience so you can get your stuff out there and, you know, make money at it, because we all want to make money too, but that's our creative endeavor. Like, we want to put our stuff out there. We want to share it with the world. We want to be profitable at it so we can continue to make more content.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Dawn, this says 8:05 Eastern for the Madness Countdown Party for Path of the Pale Rider. Yes.
All right.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to go ahead and play that little ad.
Play that. Yes, you know I love that trailer, that commercial.
All right. Tonight, ending at 9 o'clock, is this campaign. We will be coming out at 8 o'clock and hanging out with Laurie for the last hour while we pimp for more pledges, right? Here we go. Check it out.
What is Path of the Pale Rider anyway? Is it a comic book? No, that's not it. Is it this? What the heck is Path of the Pale Rider, man? There's no way this is right. How about this? I have no idea.
We can rob a bank.
Oh, it's this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I never get over the fact that, like, the second little face filter she has on, that zombie makeup, my initial response is, as somebody who used to do makeup for zombie walks, you know, implying prosthetics and all that stuff, I was like, man, I thought she had taken the time to put on like a foam prosthetic, and we're like, wow, those phone apps have gotten really good. They're like, mapped to her face excellently.
And you know, she does have a background in film production, so she's you know,
I can tell by her videos she knows what she's doing.
And she's so much fun to hang out with too. Look, and before we go any farther with that, look, Laurie was very instrumental in building our Roku campaign. If it wasn't for her, I don't know what it would look like. You know, she's been a huge help to me. She's a huge help to me in the moral support department. She is a huge supporter of the network in general, and was before we started the Roku thing. You know, she's the one I handed the Tuesday morning brew to, and I'm damn glad I did. That's all. Now, I did get a new video in for a new book.
Oh.
Do you know Whitefire Comics, Doran Corkum?
Not off the top of my head, no, but there's so many impressive indie stuff going on because people are so fed up with the big two and the subsequent quote unquote indie guys who started to fall down the same rabbit hole of just instead of telling good stories, just being all agenda driven. And now, like, the indie market is so saturated with so many amazing people, I cannot keep up with all the good stuff that's out there. So please share with me.
Well, this one is called Break Hell, and it's by my friend Doran. Check it out.
Oh, those are some good looking pages. Now I want to read the comic with that music playing in the background the whole time because that so pumps me up. And I love the premise. The town that took on the devil and failed, they lost. It's like, oh, but immediately that story just gets right in your head. It's like, well, what happened next?
Yeah, and that's number 2. I have the first one and also the side book called Quint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Quint book actually has my boy Joe here on the cover. Serious business. He's on the cover of that comic book. And I don't know if you know Joe or not, but this is Joe.
Nope, don't know Joe. I know Crom, of course.
Joe, because he could be anybody. He could be Joe Mama, Joe Brother, just Joe, right? But we had him. We pulled him out for Halloween a couple years ago. Or it might have been last year, but then Doran turned around and now he don't want to stand up and be proud. Then Doran turned around and
he's turned his back on you. Yeah. Oh, Joe's had enough.
So Doran put him on the cover of a comic book.
Nice,
and it was funny as hell. It's good stuff.
And the artwork looks great too.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. It really is.
Good line art, good colors. The panel layout looks really good.
And we will have him on when I want to say he's launching that really soon. So be on the lookout for that. We'll definitely have him on the show a few times.
Sadly, I'm committed to another thing tonight, but I'll try at least pop in and tickle Laurie once again and ask her what is the path of the Pale Rider, because that's become this thing I just do to her now. Anytime I see her online.
Yep, and it's fun. Now you and I are going to do something here now for something completely different.
Yes, indeed. So let me give the folks out there a little bit of a background. TSR was the original creator of the Dungeons and Dragons game, which is now the property of Wizards of the Coast. But it started humbly with Gary Gygax and another fellow whose name I shamelessly cannot remember because Gary Gygax was just ground into my brain for forever.
Right.
Arneson. The other fellow, I think his name is Arneson. Well, they split off and they did different things. They're like, oh, this fantasy role playing thing is kind of cool. People like it, and so they started doing things like Star Frontiers. Let's do D&D in space. We kind of like Star Trek and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, so they did that. But lo and behold, who would have thought in the mid 80s they would get into superheroes of all things? And I don't know if this is the very first superhero role-playing game, but it is the most enduring, if you ask me. out of all the ones that have come before and since, be it Mutants and Masterminds, Champions, different things through Palladium. No, this is the Marvel Superheroes role-playing game by TSR. I believe it is maybe 84. And there have been many subsequent Marvel games since then. There's been the Saga system, and now lately they have Marvel Multiverse, which is out for people to play. Some of them use D6 system, some of them use D20, some use different things. But we call this system the Face Rip system because of the stats you have, which are fighting, agility, strength, endurance, reason, intuition, and psyche, however you want to pronounce it. And that's become the Face Rip, and you use this thing called the Universal Table to do all your rolling on. And it's a D100 system, percentile dice. Super easy, super intuitive. It's it's easy to play. It's fun to play. It's easy to get other people in. And there's a lot of nuance in there. Now, my particular game, I'm going to add in some homebrew because, what's RPGs without every table having their own homebrew and stuff going on. So for those of you who know the game or are purists, you'll be seeing me do my own thing a little bit. But we have decided over at the Fellowship of the D20 that we are going to be doing some other games. Our primary DM, David Nemesis Howard, is looking to take us through the horror and carnage of Warhammer. And I saw this as an opportunity to bring us around to Marvel Superheroes, which I haven't actually had a chance to play in about 13 years. I've kind of been missing it.
Yeah, I haven't played in about 30. So.
And so we will be doing this through a new YouTube channel called the Circle of the Seven Dice, where we kind of rotate through different games. What I'm thinking is we'll take blocks. We'll take these story arcs, like these modules, as opposed to campaigns. Like, we'll get through an arc, and then the next guy will go, and the next guy will go, and we'll do that. And we'll just kind of have this rotating game. And then, it comes back around to me. I get to take you guys through the next part of the Marvel Comics adventure. Now, my particular game world, which was requested by Mike Nunneley, who hosts all these things for us. Yeah. And check out Omen Comics, of course. Mike's comic line. He's actually going to be playing one of his own comic book characters. He wanted a world was just not just all Marvel superheroes. He wanted to see DC superheroes in there. And I told him, man, my particular game world is a game world where all the superheroes I just like are available. They're all just hanging out. It's that, Gotham City and Metropolis are over here, and New York and New Jersey up here, and then there's some cities you've never heard of over here, and there's all this stuff. So it all works. We've even taken one of the cities from his own comic book setting, and we put it in because his character, Patrick O'Leary, that's his base of operations. But I'm bringing all the action down into San Francisco because that's just kind of where I want things to happen, because I kind of feel like right now San Francisco has become the Gotham of the West Coast. It's so troubled and so crime-ridden, so I'm going there. It's a literal shithole, so we need to clean it up. Get out your poop map app, because we're stepping in it. So here we go.
I like that.
So I'm going to be using, I've got the Marvel rules out right now. I got myself 2 screens going, so if you see me looking away, I'm looking at this other stuff. I've built a quick kind of Word document character sheet before I put Pops into anything specific. All right, Pops. We're going to be doing, as far as character creation, we have a couple of different options. Some of my players have chosen to do what's called modeling, where you think my character is kind of like this, and I'd like a tribute similar to that. Other players have decided to just go straight dice rolls and see what they get. Now, in good old-fashioned TSR style, that used to be you went down the line and you would just roll, and that's whatever you got. My fighting is only this, or my strength is really good, and this sucks, and that kind of thing. I'm going to do it more like modern D&D, where if you choose to roll, we roll all the numbers, and then you get to place them where you want.
Right.
Or we can figure out, again, if you think this character has some attributes like another character, I'll be reading off some of these values. If you choose that, we kind of figure out where they go from there. On top of all of that, the initial power level of this campaign is going to be very low. Not straight out human level like a Batman or a Hawkeye or anything like that. I'm bringing it not to like Spider-Man level, but there are people who are like above people like Daredevil. Think like maybe powers on the levels like kind of old school Wolverine or way old school Captain Britain from back in the day when he wore the red suit, if you remember that. So Deathstroke the Terminator back from the 80s Teen Titans days. So like they've superpowers around, but nobody is like so far nobody's going to be like juggling cars kind of thing.
No OPs. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Work to build your character to that. We all got to start. Y'all got to start as Peter Parker just got bit, right?
Right. I mean, like if you're a super Marvel nerd like me, you go in the way back machine. Peter Parker started out like his Spider-Man lifts generally like 10 tons these days, and there was a period where JMS was writing him, and he had the other thing going on, and that strength level doubled. He was lifting 20 tons, which put him in a whole new category. But initially, he only started out being able to lift about a ton, to show you how long it took his body as he aged and progressed, and his body became more acclimated to his spider powers, and he grew into them. And to reflect that, the general, for those of you who never played, the general leveling up system in Marvel superheroes is not very fast, and it reflects how in comics it tends to take people decades to move along. Plus, game terms, you don't want everybody running around playing Superman. You know, then it just
you don't want everybody to be overpowered. That's
I mean, like if characters, their concept allows them to get there eventually, I'm fine with that. But like, we need to have I expect people will have like the sort of team thing, like we'll have the Captain America, we'll have the Iron Man, we'll have the Thor, all these kind of different power levels mixed in there. But initially, I want everybody to start low, and we can grow into your character and grow into your concept. So, Pops, what is the name of your hero?
The name of my hero?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure yet because I haven't decided if I want to
Crom it up
or do something different. Crom obviously would not be a human character.
Non-human characters are fine. I'm open to anything.
See what I'm saying? I mean, he's obviously an internet troll. But I guess what we could do is we could do some rolls for Crom, and if it doesn't seem like it's going to work, then we can go a different direction. But it'd be kind of cool to have a little Misplix kind of character in the.
So you want to try doing random rolls as opposed to like having a concept and trying to build out from there with the modeling?
Obviously, his premise is he's an internet troll.
Mm-hmm.
His powers are related to his ability to manipulate the internet.
All right, but
everything else, I mean, there's no. I mean, we roll for Constitution for all that, strength and all that, but really, that's his. Like you say, he's not a superpower, overpowered anything. It's just his brain and the internet, right?
All right, I've got to ask you a question. How is that going to work when he's got to stop, bank robbers escaping in a car down the street?
Let's see. Well, it depends on what year that car was made, right? Because if it's one of them caddies with North Star, he's stopping that car right there. It ain't going nowhere.
I mean, because I do have to think about the medium of the world as well. It's like okay, if he's just always on the internet.
No, he comes out of the internet, but his powers are related to manipulating the internet and anything the internet can touch.
Which is damn near anything these days.
But I mean, it's not like he can kill you with the internet.
I've already got some ideas about how that power could work. Interesting.
Now we can toss that around. We can create a different character, but keep that in mind and toss that around because it'd be really cool to bring Crom into this.
I think we can make this happen. There's Yeah. Maybe a combination of cyberpathy and cyberkinesis. And then maybe a body transformation into like data.
Well,
so
yeah,
he can actually surf on the web himself, kind of thing.
That's his whole thing. The first time he pops out of the internet is right here in this room. He pops out of my phone behind me. Wow. Like I received the logo art from Ed, right? And I'm looking at it on my computer. And at the exact same time that I'm seeing Crom for the first time, he's popping out of my phone behind me, looking at the camera and going, wait till they get a load of me. Like he's already alive and I don't even know it, right? That's
okay. So let me ask you this about Crom. Playing him in the context of the game. So Crom isn't going to be like a character who turns in this superpowered form. He is just a kind of an entity that came into existence in the internet.
He may at some point make himself a little vehicle or something that obviously he can create with the internet. He can
hang on,
cause somebody's 3D printer to work. You know, I mean,
like wave at the people. That's my wife.
How you doing?
You can find her playing with us on the although you don't normally get to see her because of the stuff she has to use, but like she is Boja the Blessed on the Fellowship of the D20. Yes. And when Boja blesses you, watch out. Things are getting hot. She is also playing D, the Artificer, with her dog that goes bark, off. Her Bostonian accented character. Everybody loves my wife's characters. They're the coolest characters.
You got to put thought into it. You got to put thought in and keep it entertaining. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Look, I love your wizard. It's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm all about character and flavor and concept and things like that. Okay, so what I was trying to establish here, Crom is literally just Crom, has always been Crom. He's his own entity.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a super powered form of anybody else. All right, so let's start with that. Let's go with Crom.
Not a super powered form of anybody else. He may at some point like create armor to make himself a little more hardy in battle situations, but that would be like, okay, we'll
find out about that because there's a couple ways to do things like that. Because
you could you just have a 3D printer make him some titanium armor or something,
right? Because there will be rolls to see how many powers you start with initially, how many powers you can end up acquiring in the course of your career, and then there's other ways of doing things like obviously Iron Man just gets powers of the wazoo because he's got the resources to just keep building things because he's one of these high tech guys, and so there's rules in the set about doing that, but that's going to be spending resources and XP and stuff like that to get that sort of thing. So that's something we can build into. All right, so Crom. Real name is Crom. I'm going to say identity is public because Crom is just Crom. Just back it already.
He's from cyberspace.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put for occupation internet troll because why not?
Yes, that's what he is. He is the first legitimate internet troll in comics.
And his base of operations will be the World Wide Web. How old do you say Crom is? How long has he been in existence?
3 years.
3 years. Oh, he's a baby, but he knows everything because he's on the internet.
Yeah, he was born with a lot of knowledge, even like not knowing how much he knew.
When Crom
moving around the internet and what all there is to manipulate, he don't even know yet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. When Crom pops into the real world, how tall is he?
About 3 foot.
3 foot. And about how much do you think Crom would weigh as a material being?
60 pounds, maybe.
Just a little goblin from the internet.
He's got a little bit of a pot belly, so I'll give it to you.
All right. Do you have some percentile dice on you? Or do you have a dice roller of some sort?
Let me see.
You need a couple of 10s so we can do the D100s.
I do not have D100. I have up to D20, I think.
Yep, I'm gonna need either a couple of D100 or a couple of D10s, or like
Let me see.
bring yourself out a tab and get like a digital dice roller you can roll. Or if you're really cool like me, you got one of these, son. What's up with that?
20. I got a 10 and a 20.
Well, you can just roll a 10 twice because.
Okay.
Oh man, Pops has only got the one set of dice. Oh, he's not a dragon hoarder.
My stuff is packed, bro. I only have one that was right here handy, but these are my actual glow in the dark prop dice. You see, they're green and red.
That's pretty.
They glow in the dark. The case glows in the dark. I got these from Frog G. You guys know Frog G on Twitter, right?
Right.
Yeah, he made these, man, for me personally. Come with the nice little bag they come in and everything, and the case. But yeah, I got your D10 and your D. Wait a minute. Yeah, D10 and D20. I got you.
Just the D10. That's all you're gonna need. If you can't roll 2D10, we'll just roll a D10 twice to figure things out.
Okay.
And first number will be, like, say your 10 count, and then the second number will be, whatever follows that. So, like, the first number you roll is a 7, that's 70. And then the next number will be like, 75. That's why I roll. So that's why we'll work it. Let's see. Looking at potential origins. I think, high technology. I think I'm going to go, and for those of you who are out there, I'm using I'm not getting into the Ultimate Powers book right now, or with all its varied origins, just for the sake of simplicity. Although I will reference that as far as things in the game. I do pull from that. I do like that in the Ultimate Talents book. And if people have an idea that doesn't fit any of these, I will cross-reference, and I'll even, if need be, write in a custom power, because I have played this game for forever. So we got it all covered. But I think I'm going to start you with the origin robot, since Crom is basically an artificial intelligence.
No, he's sentient. He's sentient.
Right. That's what happens in comics, man. How many sentient robots have we seen? You're friggin' Ultron, dude. All right. I will need 7 rolls to start with. So just roll your dice twice, and then tell me what your number is going to be.
The first one was a big 10.
All right. So that's going to be 100. I mean, did you roll twice and get like a?
No, I rolled twice and I got 10 both times.
10 both times. All right. That will be 100, which is extraordinarily good, because the higher the better for your values. All right. Second roll.
Well, now hold up. This is 70, 30, 50. So it was 2 10s.
Well, remember, the second roll has to just be a single digit number. So you just forget the 0 on the second roll.
Okay, well, that's actually obviously not the dice I was looking for, because that is a 100. So where's my 10?
So if you've got one of those and just a regular D10, you can roll them both together, then you know.
I've got an 8. A 12. A 4. A 6. And a 10. Yes, I got a 10. All right. I got what I need. I got
Okay. Starting over. Roll those 2 dice together.
Okay. Rolling the 10 is a 20, and rolling the single is a 6. So 26.
26. All right. Next roll
is a 39.
39.
$60 even.
Ooh, 60. That's good.
16. 27. Well, I'm not doing real well, am I?
You are not the high roller of all the people I've had rolling so far.
And 27 again.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 27 again. One more roll, please.
Oh, look at that. We got a 99.
All right. That's good to have.
99, man.
One of your stats is going to be super duper good.
One of them.
One of them. They're not all terrible, but they're not like big. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, 17, 26, 27. We weren't killing it.
No. You were definitely not going to be rocking the same amount of health and other stuff that some of these other guys are doing. Which will be interesting because their powers, a lot of them are very much more kind of front line. So it'll be interesting to have somebody who does different things. Let's see, 16. Still ends up in the good. So you don't. All of your powers are at least going to be above the norm. You are not riding in at typical.
Oh, nice. Good.
So another good. Crom will have to mostly stand back. He's going to kind of be like the wizard. Let me stay back here out of the way and try not to get squished.
Yeah, and figure out ways I can help.
Yeah.
He's got to be creative, man. That's his deal.
And that'll be interesting to see. And then 99 gets you a gigantic score. All right. So. So all of your values are what's considered good. You have one that's remarkable and one that is monstrous.
Sounds about right for Crom.
All right. So now, what would you say is Crom's strongest attribute? We have fighting, agility, strength, endurance, reason. That's how smart you are. Intuition, how in tune you are with your environment. Like in D&D, that'd be your perception score. Yeah. And psych, for those of you who played 3-5, that's like willpower.
I would say, you didn't say intelligence. You said something.
Reason.
Like reason.
Reason's your intelligence.
Reason and psych would probably be where he's coming from.
So is he more willful or smarter?
I'm going to say, let's say smarter, just because of what he has access to.
That makes total sense with him being the internet troll and having access to all that information. So that's going to be his big score and his attributes right there. And we'll go ahead and say put the other high score in psych. So Crom's got a good amount of willpower and a hell of a lot of intelligence. Everything else will be easy to figure out because everything else is good.
It's all about the same.
It really is. Like, it's going to be easy to calculate your stuff because you got the same roll value over and over and over again. All right. Okay, so we got that one out of the way. Now let's see. Crom is a public identity, which means his popularity is already going to start out at 10. Base resources are typical. But let's see if we can do something about that. So give me another D100 dice roll. Let's see if we can give you better resources, because they can be used just for cool things or to even change up the number of powers and talents you have initially on creation.
$14.
What'd you roll?
Yeah, 40.
Oh, I'll have to wait for you to stop.
It was a 40 roll.
Oh, you gotta roll both dice.
Oh,
It's always D100. Always D100.
49.
49. All right. Your resource ranks will not change. So typical resources, which just for your knowledge, I imagine Crom's needs are not that great overall because he just kind of hangs out on the internet when he's not doing stuff.
Yeah, he's
So
just.
That is typical resources are the value of your typical wage earner.
Okay.
Nothing special. All right,
He
now
can manipulate hedge funds, and he could create his own hedge fund on the internet.
that will be a power feat.
He could steal a third of a penny from a million different corporations.
All right, Richard Pryor.
See, I mean, it's been done in comics, right? He could just make himself silently rich.
All right, so give me 3 more percentile rolls. This is going to determine some things as far as powers, talents, and contacts.
Okay, I got a 54.
54 is good.
Yep, come back here, Dash. On the table. I got a 14.
14's pretty low.
And a 16. Yeah.
Pops is not an overachiever when it comes to these dice rolls.
I shoot arrows, bro. That's what I do. This is all new to me.
I'm guessing you. What would be more What would be more important to you? Do you want more powers, more talents, or more contacts? Powers obviously are going to be the superpowers Crom has available. I'm thinking for what he is, he could probably use a couple of powers. He could have at least 2 powers, and he could have a maximum right now of 3 powers out of a possible 4. Talents can be used to buff things you do. And then contacts. Contacts are good for just a variety of purposes. Like if you remember the Netflix series, a contact Daredevil made was Rosario Dawson as the night nurse, who was very good at patching him up after he got ninjas beating the crap out of him.
The contact for sure.
All right, so
he's got to have somebody to interact to like when he first comes out of when he first pops out, he speaks in binary, dude. Doc's character Elizabeth from Pariah Blood and Mud is the one that teaches him to speak English.
Well, remember, this doesn't have to be tied directly to what he's going on.
I'm just saying, it's like to give you context. When he popped out the internet, all he could do was speak binary.
11001100100110.
She popped him on the head. She's a witch, obviously.
Yeah,
popped him on the head, and then she could understand what he was saying. But he does need some kind of real world go-between, right? Somebody.
Okay, we can adjust that by reducing your resources by 1 category. Make sure you have at least 1 contact.
Yeah. Because I mean, he's on the internet. I mean, he's got to have somebody that has actual real life experience to bounce his stupid ideas off and whatnot, right? You know.
All right, so we'll drop those to poor. So we're going to go 3 out of 4 powers. You can develop another power later. You will start off with 1 out of 6 talents. That's an interesting thing about this. One of the things about like the lower you roll you get on some of these, the more options you have later on, but you just got to spend the XP to get there. XP in this game, for those who don't know, is called Karma. And 0 out of 4, but we will spend the resources to automatically give you a 1 in that category. And now let's start figuring out powers. Whoa. Okay, so 3 out of 4 powers to play with initially. So some of the things I was thinking with, especially because everything is dialed into the internet these days. So probably cybernetic telepathy.
The one that I always thought of when I thought of this character was his like having the ability to manipulate vehicles and whatnot that are connected to the internet.
Right. And I was thinking
like maybe he could fly a jet because of all of its already initial existing programming for autopilot and all that kind of stuff, right? He could probably tap into that and fly the jet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what I'm going to call that is cyberkinesis.
Yeah, that's the only real power other than just being super smart that I ever really saw him adapting to. I mean, you know what I mean? Just figuring out how to manipulate, vehicles and stuff.
I think he should also have this power called body transformation, which would allow him to basically kind of Tron himself. So he digitizes and he goes back and forth between the internet and the real world.
That was one of the things he just kind of naturally did. Remember, I told you, like, the first time he popped out the internet, he was, like, right here behind me, and I didn't even know it. Laughing at me.
Because without that power initially, you'd have to figure out, like, in terms of the game world, like, he popped out of the internet and realized that, like, oh, I can't get back in. I got to figure out a way to get back in. But you have exactly 3 powers used for that work.
These are what he was using to get in and out. Look, telephones, cell phones. That's how he was getting in and out.
All right, to that end,
cell phones. That's the first time he popped out. And other than the initial appearance, the first appearance, the next time he popped out was out of Elizabeth's phone. Into her house, right into her living room, boom.
No, that's not going to get annoying. I was on the toilet. What are you doing? It's like, well, don't text on the toilet.
Well, he does get a little frisky with her. I'm just going to say he does. He gets a little cheeky with her because he's Kron, right?
Right.
Well, you got to remember, like, how much a percentage of the internet is prawn.
Right.
He probably knows all about that. First thing he does, pops out into a hottie's house. Hey, what's up?
I should tell you about the rating of my game. I'm not looking for too hot for TV. Not safe for work. Yeah.
Story.
All right. Right, we've got 3 powers, so I need 3 more percentile rolls to determine how strong those powers are.
Oh, we got a 94.
Ooh, that is going to be very good.
Oh, I can't. I'm not going to be able to OP him and put that on the manipulation of vehicles and stuff, because then he'd just be able to fly F-18 around and blow everything up. That wouldn't be.
Hey, look, that's a legitimate roll. You can totally do that.
30. We got a 30.
30.
And a 33.
Yeah, you definitely want. 94, you definitely might want to be able to manipulate those vehicles and stuff. Let's see, 30 and 33 is still going to just put you good, which is kind of interesting. I can see some interesting options for that.
Now, this game you're setting up, is this all? We're all going to be keeping track of this on paper? How are we doing this?
I'm sending everybody a fillable PDF sheet.
Okay.
Roll20 is not set up for Marvel superheroes. So the only thing we're going to be using it for is for me dropping in maps, dropping in tokens, using the dice roller so everybody can see the D100. Over the fellowship, we really like having the 3D dice roll across the screen so people can see that, and then Mike will pop up the universal table so we can consult that. That's going to be one of my homebrew things because I'm actually using a modified universal table, which includes critical fails as well as critical successes.
Nice.
Because I like me a good crit fail everything. I like some crits.
It's got to go both ways, man. The pendulum must swing.
I mean, because there's already like a nice, just like, oh, you didn't make it kind of section, but I like those crits, whichever way they're going. I like my crits. And I might change up how the action economy works in the game because I kind of like the 5e system a bit. So I'm thinking about incorporating the action economy of action, bonus action, reaction sort of thing. Or I might play test a little bit to use the standard rules that the Marvel has on its own. So again, I'm doing my own sort of hybridized thing. So it's not going to be 100% pure to the game. But I've still got time before we start, so I'm still hashing things out for myself, doing a little play test and see how it works out. All right. Well, this is going to be pretty easy. You've got one big number for one of these 3 powers, and the others are just good. I really think this probably should be your cyber kinesis because this is going to be your main offensive, defensive powers, being able to control various pieces of equipment.
Yeah,
that's my recommendation.
I can think of a lot of ways to use that too. So I'm just saying that crane you're using over there to build that building.
And that's another thing about this game is another reason I'm going mostly from the old advanced box set is the Ultimate Powers book gets really crunchy, kind of like when you look at D&D 5e, and everything is super explained in the spell categories. But the old stuff, they give you some pretty nice guidelines, but it's still kind of open like a lot of the old school TSR stuff. This was something you and your DM talked about. So especially with this being a superhero game, get creative. I am all about some rule of cool. If I think that's cool and I think it's even slightly workable, it's like, let's roll the dice and see what happens.
Cool.
All right, so we've got that. Now let's get into talents. Let's find out what Crom is good at. He only has one initial talent. So let's go through some of the talents lists. Of course, you can add more things along the way. It's just all about spending the XP to get there. Oh, you know what? I just realized I gave everybody a bump because one of the players wanted immortality as a power, and I forgot that counts as 2 powers when you're buying your powers. So if you want, you can have an additional power, an additional talent, an additional contact, or you can take one of your physical stats up a level.
Let's explore the talents.
One additional talent. All right, let's make it 2.
I don't know what the talent option.
Oh, okay. All right, so talents are broken down into various categories. You have weapon skills. You have fighting skills. You have professional skills. These are things like law enforcement, pilot, business, finance. You have scientific skills, biology, chemistry, physics, astronomy. You have mystic skills, which are things like trance, mesmerism, sleight of hand, resist domination. And then you have other skills, which kind of cover anything else.
I like that last one you just said.
Resist domination?
The one that with that in it, yeah.
Or just the mystic category, period.
Mystic category.
All right. In the mystic skills, we have trance. This allows the character to place himself into a trance. While in the trance, character's body functions slow, may be assumed to be deceased. It's kind of like yogis, gurus, fakirs.
Right.
The next talent in that category is mesmerism and hypnosis. I think we all know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Sleight of hand. You've ever seen a stage magician or a pickpocket, you know what sleight of hand is. Resist domination. You, of course, are harder to mentally overthrow than others. You can have 2 talents if you want.
I want resist domination.
Resist domination.
And sleight of hand.
oh no.
Oh yeah.
I sense shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he is a mischievous little internet troll. I mean,
word.
Yeah, no. I mean, but I don't want anybody to be able to take him over. So resist domination would be,
That's good. That will take your base psych score, your base willpower, and actually kick it up 1 rank, which doesn't affect your actual ranks, but you get to resist domination as if you were 1 rank higher.
Right.
So that'll be nice. Because now I'm actually thinking that if somebody was able to dominate Prom, that would be horrific.
Yeah, that would be bad.
With his suite of abilities.
We're lucky he's not chaotic evil. I mean, he's just neutral. He giggles at us, the stupid stuff we do. He manipulates things on the internet, news stories to make us all freak out and stuff. He's just a mischievous little troll.
Okay, now we need a contact. Now, when we say contacts, we want somebody who's actually got some influence on the world. For some of the guys who are playing, that's somebody who is involved in their backstory. Like, Mike's character has military contacts, so he's got that sort of thing. Steve's character is tied into this kind of like a low-key magic monster hunter archaeologist sort of organization. So you want somebody who's tied into the world, like, and the contacts can be, for instance, like a Clark Kent, his contacts would be, people like Perry White, Lois Lane, members of the Justice League. So it can also be people within the Marvel or DC universe, obviously, including heroes like, hey, did Crom team up with Video Man one time to thwart something, or have that sort of did Crom run across like Howard the Duck and they had a weird ass trippy adventure, because that seems like a thing those two would do. So it's anything like that. Anybody who has the sort of relevance in the world that they can affect things to your benefit in some way.
I'm thinking like a major social media influencer.
Ooh,
because he's coming out of the internet, right? How about Elon Musk?
Dude, I love that idea. This like, especially with like Eon being somewhat autistic, I think he'd be into this. It's like,
we might have to change it to Elon Musk, but you know what I mean? I don't know if it would be okay to use his name in this without his okay, but dude.
He is a public figure.
Yes, I think that would be great. He would be like Crum's contact. Crum would be like running shit by him.
From what I've seen of Elon, I think he'd probably be kind of tickled by it. He seems like a pretty guy with a good sense of humor.
We have to make sure we hashtag him in all the episodes.
Now,
it's gonna go viral, dude. It's gonna be our viral thing right there. Crum, Elon Musk, dude.
Oh, great! I'm gonna get to role play Elon Musk now. So, Crum, have you ever thought about Mars? I think about Mars quite a bit.
I'm
and
in
solar energy.
I'm rolling around there right now, looking at all the pictures.
I even get to use Doc's voice for it. You know what I mean?
We'll bring you to Mars, but it might take you a month to get there if you just travel on your own radio waves.
I see the pictures before anybody.
All right. Typically, does Crom typically have any sort of equipment?
A slingshot.
Slingshot. All right. That was totally unexpected, but now I'm looking at it in the background and I see it.
He's been drawn with a slingshot and a bomb. Your choice.
I like the slingshot quite a bit. The slingshot, just like regular old slingshot, like anything special about it?
Yeah, he's just a regular old 2 sticks with a rubber band.
All right, so every now and then he's going to pelt somebody with a rock.
He won't be the first person, okay? He got me once. Look, it's, you know, I mean that's Crom. Look, there you go on that one. See the slingshot?
I can actually see it in the background behind you there, so it's pretty funny that you decided like slingshot. I was asking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
I mean, as much as I could keep him in character, this could be really fun for story building for him.
No, I'm feeling it. I kind of like the goofiness of the character versus what some of the other people have come up with. Like Mike Nunneley has the most dreadful, horrible, sad, depressing backstory of a character I've ever seen. Like, it was like, the Punisher only lost his wife and children in a mob pit. Like, no, Mike's like, let me hold my beer. I'll show you how to make a terrible backstory. Like, oh God, man. So, the fun thing about Mike's character, Patrick O'Leary, because he's got, I don't want to spoil too much, but Patrick has ties to Greek mythology. And so that's going to be very fun to play with in the course of the game.
This was the very first drawing of Crom.
Who did that?
Edwin Artex Badillo. He's in the Madness. He's one of the great artists. He's a tattoo artist, colorist extraordinaire. But he won the logo contest.
Very nice.
Doing the logo for the Madness, right? And then he retooled it for us for the Roku. You know, he retooled it for us, but he's the one that brought the thing, you know, that created it, that created Crom, the visual, right? And then we just took it and ran with it. So many different people have drawn. Dude, I have a file with like 100 different drawings of Crom.
I will say, as far as tokens go, you can use one of those mini images of Crom, or you can create him in Hero Forge, however you want to handle it.
That's my favorite.
Oh, this is going to be something else.
We have a bunch of them to choose from. Like I said, you know, he's been around for 4 years, and probably 100 different people have drawn him. I got the Bill Moss Nera X with the Crom reflection in the sword. You know, bunch of
it should be interesting because I'm also incorporating superhero characters and villains that I've been creating since I was 13 into the game, and some of them are really spot on, serious, like characters you would expect to see. You know, like your Thors, your Batmans, all that stuff.
Right.
But I've also got a sense of humor that's a little out there, so some of them are pretty weird. So I'm imagining the interaction with Crom, how that's going to roll now.
See, and that's the whole thing. All I've done is think about this character and different places it could go, but I'm not a writer or an artist.
I'll tell you what's fun is the flagship character of my universe is called Mr. Happy. And Mr. Happy is, I'll just be real about it. Mr. Happy is a self-insert. It's me as a superhero in a comic, because Mr. Happy answers the question. Anybody who's into comics, everybody eventually goes like, if I was a superhero, what would I be like? You know, what would my superpower be? Who would I be in the comic book world? And I answered that, and I decided, like, you know what? That's just going to literally be me in the superhero world. And one of the things he went through quite an evolution. He started out as like somebody with like the classic superhero powers, like you'd expect Superman. You know, he could fly, he was strong, he was hard to hurt, all that, but way toned down, but with my sense of humor, wearing his ridiculous smiley face costume. And then later, I decided, like, you know what, this will actually be fun to write as a parody book because I was really into Keith Giffen's Ambush Bug at the time. So I just kept writing all these jokes and things. And then later on, I played a play-by-post Marvel Superheroes RPG with some friends of mine. And because it was a play-by-post, you're writing. And this kind of got me upping my writing game. And so I really developed the character there, you know, like his motivations, his origins, how he would react to various sorts of situations, to the point where now, because of that game, who was run by a fellow named Carlos Leasing, did I say that right? Leasing, he's Filipino, so I sometimes forget how to pronounce it properly. Sorry, Carlos. And he had a very dark, oppressive superhero world, and Mr. Happy became like the symbol of hope, because he was the bright spot, you know, like it looks like we're heading towards an apocalypse, like, oh, let's try and save it. And so I decided in my own comic book world that Mr. Happy kind of starts out in a world where like the bad guys have more or less won, and he's the first hero back, triggering the next heroic age. And because I look out the window, you know, watch the TV and see how things are going in the world. And it's like, we need somebody like this to kind of remind us, like, of the good times and having, you know, doing the right thing, bring us back from the brink of just complete cynicism.
I got
he's got like, because he's got like a cartoon physics and comic book awareness are kind of his superpowers. And I was inspired by John Byrne's She-Hulk and characters like Dark Horse's The Mask, if you'll remember the Jim Carrey movie. So that's kind of where he's at. So I was following those people who were doing the Deadpool way before Deadpool ever thought of Deadpooling. So that sort of thing. So you guys will assuredly run into him and some of the others in my game world. I mean, there's a guy in a mental institution who is in the mental institution because he acts like a superhero, and what everybody in the institution doesn't know is whenever he's acting like a superhero and they're running around trying to trank him and get him to settle down, he's actually projected a psychic avatar of himself as a superhero fighting crime out in the real world. And he hits things with a pillow because he's the pillow fighter.
I can see it. I can see it.
I'll have to show you the art later. It's pretty cool. All right, we have the basic stuff down. I will get this into the sheet, and I will send you the sheet, and you can fill out any of the details you want. I don't think a lot of them will apply to Crom per se, because he's, you know, a different sort of being altogether. And then you send me back a copy because you know, because we don't have all these resources on Roll20. It's like something that's not supported that way. So I have a copy of the sheets. You guys got a copy of sheets, and that's how we're going to do it. But this sounds like this is going to be a hoot.
My only worry is that he's, you know, not super durable.
He is definitely not super durable. Like, looking at his stats as far as like physical stats go,
yeah,
his health is right there with like your typical average everyday citizen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, most of the other guys, well, not even most of the other guys, all the other guys in the game can take a hit from a car at like 30 miles an hour.
I just take control of the car and turn it. Yeah. Brakes.
So be ready to like you know, play Crom like a wizard, man. Keep him out of the way and try and do some heroic things.
This is my whole thing with all.
It's going to be an interesting challenge.
With all the games where I get to create my own character, like I played EverQuest long ago, right? Like first before the first expansion. EverQuest, right? Way long time ago. And I'm the guy who will create a weak character or a good class but a weak race to play it, so that it's challenging.
Yeah.
Right? I had a Wood Elf warrior that was just badass, you know, because he was so fast, man, and he dual yield, and he'd just like be behind that barbarian, just ripping him up from behind, and dude's just like, what? Where'd he come from? Where'd he go?
My dream character, and it will take a DM who's willing to let me do this, and I think I've got a DM who would. And normally he prefers you to, if you're using like a material that's not right out of the Wizards of the Coast stuff, at least stuff that has been, you know, come off RPG Net where it's been peer reviewed and like somebody's play tested and made sure it's, you know, like ridiculously OP, that sort of thing. As I have tried a couple of things and found out like, no, this is too OP. I'm taking this character out of play and bringing in a different character so I can rework that guy into something that fits the concept.
You remember the Tournament of Champions stuff that they used to do in EverQuest?
Yeah.
Yeah. My Mr. Rhythms.
Are all your characters named Mr.?
Yeah, I've had that name for a long time. Mr. Rhythms was a Wood Elf warrior, level 70, and I won more than one of those Tournament of Champions in the warrior. More than one. I love that game. I had over a year of playing time in that game when I quit playing it. A year of my life was spent as my EQ characters. I'm just saying.
Well, check out this character. I would like for a DM to let me play this and play it in a way that, again, you can't physically play this 100% like this, because I want to do a character who's like taking as many of the classes as he can, like the ultimate trash multi-class,
right?
But instead of just like literally taking level 1 of this, level 1 of this, like so I can get like 20 different things there, I want a DM who will let me take them up to without the limit. Will let me take them up to their subclass. And so it's totally breaking the game.
Yeah.
And then like all of his stats are like 13. Then I'd play like a human, so I could just add like a 1 across the board. So like all of his stats are 14. They're never going up. You know, he's never going to do any of that sort of level, and they're just going to be 13 or 14 forever. And I just want to see if I can play. I call him Jack of Alt Raids. So he's Jack of all trades. So it's Jack of Alt Raids. And I just wonder if somebody with like all those low levels, but he's got like all these crazy options, if he could be a viable character. I just want to kind of experiment with that.
Well, I mean, yeah, because a lot of those low level spells are stuff you always use.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But you know, he's never going to have the big power spells.
No, but like you still got your fireball or firebolt. You still got, you know, guiding bolt. You would have all the low level.
Yeah, and all those low level subclass features can be pretty interesting. So if like somebody
also have like cure wounds, curse removal. You'd have everything you need. You just wouldn't be able to like duke it out one-on-one with something big.
No, and that's the fun thing, like taking a character who's mechanically so trash like that and so broken like that, and I just really want to play it and see what I can do with it.
That would be neat. It would be confusing as hell. GM would have to really know their stuff, but you know, I'm thinking you might have to do that in a game of your own.
Well, I've got a DM who I know will let me do that, and he'll just roll with me. But other than that, he'll just have to be an NPC that I run for a game. But I really want to play this character from 0 to whatever, just to see what I can make happen out of it. But of course, he's going to be at his very best when he's level 20 and he's got all this stuff. And like how crazy his hit points are going to be. Like, oh, I got the level on Barbarian, I got the level on Ranger, and I got the level on Wizard. Everything is weird. And like he doesn't get the best stat bumps or anything, and like all his spell DCs are low. But like that's the fun, that's the challenge. What can I do with this bizarre Frankenstein trash character? And I think I can have some fun with that. I think I might because I like to do voices and accents when I play, when I role play. I think every every time he stops a sentence, I think I'm going to be running through a different accent every time he speaks. Like I'll say there's some sort of curse on him, like he can never sit still. He can never talk one way or do one thing, which is why in order to advance, he's always got to take extra class stuff. So fun idea. We'll see if I can get it in action one day.
That would be cool. So, is there anything else we need to do?
Like I said, I've got all the basics here. From here, it's just me filling out the form, writing things up. I will send it off to you. I'm using a Dropbox to send people links. You fill out anything that needs filling, or it looks like it needs filling on the sheet. Send me a copy back so we both got a copy, so we know what's going on. So I like to be able to see what's on people's sheets.
Yeah, well, you don't want to pop a surprise on you.
I'm not playing Roll20 with my online, what used to be our tabletop folks. So I don't have access to their sheets, which is fine. I was like, oh yeah, no, I've got this, but okay, that's cool. Or, if I have a question, I'll ask you, like, where'd that come from? If it's something I don't know with my encyclopedic knowledge, I just ask the player to read it to me. So we can both hear it. You hear it and I hear it. It's like, okay, now I can make my ruling, my determination. It's like, okay, that's what the rules say. That's how we go. But one thing I miss about not having access to somebody's character sheet
then they just flip in anything and say, oh yeah, man, that's part of my character. It's like,
that's not what I'm worried about, because I trust my players. I don't typically play with people like that, especially if I'm the one running the game.
Right.
But if you have something like, if you have let's just stick with D&D, if you have a tool proficiency, or if you've written down you have such and such limitation, or like one of my players, his character died before I got to explore this, and I was kind of sad. One, because I liked his character, but his character, he got killed. But another thing, he had written in his character's backstory that he had a phobia of lizards. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I'm going to do something cool with this. And he died before I got to do that. But if I don't know that's in your character sheet, if I don't have access to it, or if I forget it, then we never get to explore that. I want people to be able to use everything that's on their character sheet. If you got a tool proficiency, for the most part, like D&D 5e, a lot of that stuff gets glossed over. But I'm the kind of DM, I want to get the most out of your character for you. I want you to be able to enjoy everything about your character.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have fun with this one. I promise.
So one other thing I'll need from you is go ahead and write me up backstory of Crom. I feel like I've pretty much got anything, but like anything you want to add in there, like like if you like any of that backstory, like the sorceress made him speak English. That's whatever you want to put in there, and I'll work that into it.
The only quirk he really has, other than stuff that we've already covered, is that he steals people's weed.
They don't have that on the internet. I need to come out here to get that.
I mean, I'm just saying that's one of the things that we it's part of who he is.
And like now I'm like thinking of your campaign thing that he keeps doing.
Just smoke it already.
It is part of some of the stories written about him, though. How he's like he left the end of one story. He left, jumped into his phone. And the next time you see the people in their own comic, they're going, where the fuck is my weed? And Crom had just left their office in his comic. You see what I'm saying? It was like one of those, you got to see the other book to know what they're talking about.
I'm trying to think about how he's going to make his appearance, because I had a really good idea how to bring everybody together so they can fight the first thing and start thinking about becoming a group, all that kind of thing. But Crom is so out of left field. How is Crom going to get in there?
Surveillance cameras. He sees all.
Oh, I'm sure.
He sees all. He's just going to be like, what's going on there?
There's definitely going to be like where I plan on them all kind of meeting up for the first time before they realize they're about to meet up for the first time. There's definitely going to be surveillance cameras there.
Yeah. that's how he finds out what's up. That's how he just, and then we'll just put him there however you want, whether it's jumping out of somebody's cell phone or just making his presence known on TV screens in the store.
Like
or
Crom, like you said, Crom is not very sturdy, but he is buku smart.
Mm-hmm.
And that works for his access to the internet.
Yeah.
Because in game terms, with the intelligence score that he's got, that makes him smarter than Mr. Fantastic. And
Yeah,
I just think that's just because, like, if he needs to know something, he's like Matrix in the like, just plug it in, like, yes, I know Kung Fu now. He downloads all the information super fast. He knows the thing.
This is the and especially fun when you're using it as a antagonist,
mm-hmm.
like a Loki type character.
Mm-hmm.
Like he creates a lot of the stuff that we all freak out about just so we can sit back and giggle at how we react to it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, who released that sex tape? Crom did.
That's how the Pam and Tommy tape got out.
But you know what I mean? It's like just situations like that, right? He's got all the nuke codes. He could kill us all if he wanted to. He's
maybe not
entertained by us. Why would he kill us? You see what I'm saying?
In this world, he's not quite that OP just because the power ranks he's got in some of those powers.
Well, that's what I say. If he was chaotic evil,
yeah, that
would be like, he would be able to hold the world in thrall. But that's just not his personality. Actual evil, he would probably come back because he wants this world to laugh at. This is his Three Stooges, man. 7 billion Stooges, right? This is his
7 billion Stooges. Oh,
this is his.
That reminds me of a line from George Carlin where he talked about that he decided he was apart from humanity as he got older, and he said, "I just sit back and laugh watching you humans do what you do."
yeah, and that's all Crom has done since day one. Is giggle about the way we react to stuff. And once he realized that he could manipulate everything, news stories sometimes, those mistakes aren't always mistakes. They didn't necessarily make the mistake. Crom might have manipulated that story just a little.
All right, let me ask you something.
What's up, Bill? Got Bill Moss in the chat.
Hey, all right. Let me ask you something about Crom, because when I was talking about my friend Carlos, who had this very down, like just, like Days of Future Past kind of X-Men world that he was dropping us into.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was describing the character I wanted to play, and I could just see him going like, are you sure, man? Like, this is like your favorite character. This character is based off you. This character is all this stuff. Like, and like how attached people can get to a character, especially if they are literally putting themselves into a character.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the type of guy, like, I'd already been role playing for, a couple of decades by this point. And I was like, yeah, if something happens, it's just this game. He died in this game. He's still alive in the world and all my other stuff. So what I'm asking here is like, in terms of the game, you're okay with like stuff going on with the Crom? You cool?
Yeah,
because it's not like the Crom, it's just this game Crom.
Well, I mean, we're gonna explore the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows who Crom really is, right? We might come up with some good storylines to use.
Because I've got some ideas about how his existence might start that I kind of like to play with, being the internet troll.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Just with the contact, just with his contact, the possibilities are now endless.
Dude, that might be the most genius contact I've ever seen added to a modern role-playing game.
You're gonna have fun with this one, I promise you. I promise you.
It's gonna be great because I am an Elon Musk fan, so I'm pretty excited about the possibilities here.
I got to bring my friend Bill in because Bill just launched a campaign.
Oh, come on in, Bill.
Bill, do you know Jeff? Jeff is our wizard on our.
Hey, Pops, how you doing? Jeff, nice to meet you, man.
Pleasure.
He's a whole bunch of other things too, but I mean,
I am every woman. It's all in me.
It's good. It's good. It's good to be a strong, powerful, and confident woman.
Not just a woman. I am every woman.
You are every woman.
Hey, look, after she died, somebody had to take the title. It's mine now. I claimed it. I planted my flag in it. Boop.
Cool. Well, yeah. Pops, yeah, thanks for letting me drop in. I know I'm coming in like in the last, 20 minutes of your time.
I think we were done with our character creation.
Yeah.
Part, right, Jeff? And
I got you.
Covered, right?
No, we're good. Anything you guys want to talk about, we can talk
This
about,
was,
hang out, talk about your campaign, and as just getting to meet you as somebody who does reviews and things for the Comic Crusaders, I am always excited to meet another creator.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thanks. And I appreciate being reviewed by anybody. Any nice words to be said is
Dude,
always,
send
is always welcome.
Send me a PDF. I'll review it.
All right, that sounds good.
Or hit up Comic Crusaders online, and because Al, we love to interview creators and promote the crap out of your stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Comic Crusaders has another like dozen shows.
Mm-hmm.
They're like us. They're just a little bit smaller network, but they're like us with a bunch of different shows.
Gotcha.
Go on and talk to.
Yeah, we're another network.
Well, that's good to know. It's like I'm all right brain, so I need nudging and reminding, and that has everything. That has everything to do with me juggling 30 different stories in my head and spending 12 hours a day at a table drawing. So I hope nobody takes it personal when I.
Dude, like look at this sexy Apple Pencil too. I can finally start working on my new iPad Pro.
Oh, dude, are you using Procreate?
I'm a CSP guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why they changed the name from Manga Studio, because that's what it is, but Clip Studio Paint is my jam.
Yeah, my daughter Cat Mouse, she swears by Clip and by Manga Studio, and she does not like Photoshop. She doesn't really use Procreate.
I use Photoshop until they decide to go with subscription. Right. And I was like, if you don't use this, we shut it down. It's like, no, I'm out. No. Peace out. Yeah. I was using Procreate until I discovered Manga Studio, and they're like, Manga Studio for my money. And I know like Procreate has really become an amazing app. But for my money, I still feel like my Clip Studio Paint is still the thing if you just want to draw comics. It's got all the tools and all the things.
I have friends that swear by it. It's just I'm afraid to learn something new. It's part
I
of
get
my thing.
I get you, like the learning curve, man.
Yeah. There's a little bit of learning curve, and it's like I just need to get this stuff done. Luckily, Procreate.
Because if you're already jamming with Procreate, if you're already jamming with Procreate, like, there's no need to go to anything else.
Right. Exactly. So I got like the cheapest version of Photoshop, because I still do my lettering, my color correcting, saving all my files, that sort of thing. I do that on my desktop with Photoshop. But as far as actually working and coloring,
I mean, that's the nice thing about all these apps. They still realize that Photoshop is the standard, so you can always save your files as Photoshop documents.
Right. Exactly. That makes it awfully convenient, especially for people like me, because I know my 10 things that I know how to do that I've been doing for 30 years now. Thanks, dude. Thanks for promoting. But it's people think that I know a lot more about my computer than I actually do, because like I'm good at like 5 things. Once I stray away from the 5 things, it's just like, oh, Bill doesn't know anything about computers.
Well, I was telling Pops, like I was boomering the crap out of the early part of the show. I was like, technology hates me, and I hate it back because it hates me, and I'm only good. My wife keeps coming to me for computer advice. Is like, look, honey, I know how to work a couple of things.
Exactly.
And then everything else I have to YouTube to find out how to do things.
Then I got to call a real brain to fix it. It's like
a true test of my skills, because it was 2 minutes to 3 when Jeff gave me a topic and a reason to actually come out here.
Right.
Do a show today, and I had it up and running at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, given that you're doing comic books, we are going to be playing Marvel Superheroes RPG as released by TSR back in the 80s. And I'm running a slightly modified version of that, but we just went through the character creation process.
Got you.
So tell us about what you're doing, Bill. I'm excited to hear what you got.
I've got there are three things that we sort of got going on right now. One is we just launched, and this is just through the Entity Comics, my studio imprint. We're releasing Club Corrupt.
I'm jealous.
That's our evil. That is our evil imprint. Where I do my stuff that I cannot take to church or children.
Look at that strategically placed white drippy substance. I will not say what I think it is.
It's absolutely whipped cream.
Absolutely.
I have a can. There's a can sitting on the floor, right? I mean, it could be anything. But.
She was doing whippets and it went wrong somehow.
So this is there was a couple of friends. Well, they're friends of mine now. It's when I first met them. When I first met them, they came to me in San Diego Comic-Con, just ordering commissions. I was in Artist Alley. We just had this mutual idea, and they came up with the name Club Corrupt. It's like, oh, I want to do some nude pinups of this, or crazy pinups of that, and it's like, oh, Club Corrupt. So that was, that was like maybe 10 years ago, something like that. But William Mendoza and Len Trujillo, I will say his last name wrong forever because it's funny, but those two guys came up with the name. They're the founding members of Club Corrupt. So now that we've actually made it a real thing, it's like, that's so cool. It's like it's kind of brought back together this old group of fans from the early 2000s.
I'm looking at your campaign page right now, and I think it's pretty darn clever. I especially like the way you like, the different things like the side dish, the main course.
Yeah, the second issue might actually be completely taking place in the club. Like it might actually be like you walking in the front door of the club and actually like seeing like the different tables, the rooms, the main stage. This one has a collection of it's
general
40 pages.
Admission. Well played.
Thank you, sir. Partially my idea, partially the idea of very, very, very cool people that collect my art.
Nice.
So we got 40 pages in a full color book, and then we're doing in the 90s we used to do these ash cans all the time. These little black and white ash can books, about ash can editions of the books that we were coming out with our publishers, and those were things that we put together ourselves, like at Kinko's. It's like one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of reach back to the 90s and kind of do that again. So you got the main full color book, and then you've got the black book, which is 20 pages of additional black and white pinups, and it's all like maybe a little racier, a little edgier than what's in the main book, as one would think, because it's the black book. And of course down below we got a sticker pack, we've got a print pack. My daughter Cat Mouse has a couple of pieces in the books, and part of the sticker pack and part of the print pack as well. You see like her Felicia Snowball sticker there on the screen.
Here's something I noticed looking at the campaign page. First of all, the color book here is 40 pages, and this blurb catches my eye right away. Thought up by fans, requested by fans, collected by fans, made possible by fans. So like these are all like just various pinup requests and things you had.
Instead of a publisher paying me a page rate to create every page of this book, this small collection of fans, they have actually paid me, and they own these originals. So that's how I was able to carve out the time.
So cool.
So most of these ideas, they're all their ideas. A lot of times they let me run with the ideas, which is so much fun. But a lot of these, this is very it's a personal thing, because it's a lot of their own ideas are in the book.
Okay, and this Street Fighter one is cracking me up.
Oh, thanks, dude. Asphalt Fighter.
You guys, you got to see that one. Go to the campaign page. I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm glad you liked it. And then what we did with there's a couple different ways that we've done Kickstarters in the past, where we have like a lot of different tiers, because we have original sketches available too, just like the stickers and the prints. So instead of making like a whole bunch of different tiers, trying to get the right combination of things, we just kept the tiers very simple, and then everything else is in the add-on store. So you can get an original sketch from Kat, or you can get an original sketch from myself, either in black and white or in color. We're doing the Kickstarter. This Kickstarter, we're doing just ourselves. That's why we're keeping it kind of small and simple. Yeah, Pops.
I just got to throw it out there. You can put it in there if you want, bro.
Oh, dude. That's Pop's piece right there. That's it.
You can put it in there if you want, man.
Just out of curiosity, are you only on Kickstarter? Or are you doing like a shotgun approach? Kickstarter, Indiegogo?
You know what? I've learned how to do Kickstarter just well enough that I'm confident doing Kickstarter. I haven't run an Indiegogo yet, but that's as soon as I run a small Indiegogo, just to get the bells and whistles and get the nuts and bolts kind of figured out. I know they're very similar. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out.
Yeah, because I know some guys just kind of shotgunning across all the various platforms right now, just to get as wide an audience as they can.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm all for that. Yeah, but I didn't want to do more than I could handle.
Right,
and then end up being late with things and that sort of
thing.
So
that's sensible.
Yeah, like 90% of the book and everything is already complete. Before we even finish the campaign, everything's
also a smart move.
Bill, Laurie added your link to the Roku campaign as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Laurie.
You're down there at the bottom in the Friends with Campaigns section.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, we could use all the support and eyeballs that we can get. You know, if somebody doesn't want to get, because I do have a lot of fans that they don't, especially overseas people, they don't want to get physical media. So please pick up the PDF. You know, the PDF is going to contain every single image that we use in the campaign. So the sticker images, the print images, maybe some extra sketches, all that stuff's going to be in the digital PDF.
See, I appreciate that. Like I know a lot of people read things in their phones. I still classically want to enjoy a comic like this.
Oh, absolutely. That's a thing.
But my eyes are not anywhere near as good as they used to be. So I have found where I will collect physical comics, but in order to read and enjoy them, I put them on my nice, big, beautiful 12.9-inch iPad, and I blow them up so I can actually read and enjoy. And then my product doesn't get damaged, so I appreciate the digital as well.
Yeah, you get the bag and board it and keep it safe in your box. I mean, it's like in the old days before we had digital, I was kind of buying 2 copies.
Right.
So that way I'd have one in the box that I can actually treasure and put away. It's always in good shape. I'm proud of it. And one that I can roll up in my pocket and actually read, and I don't feel bad about flipping through the pages too much.
I'd buy one of the kids, my son or one of the grandkids a toy, and I'd have to buy another one. They're going to want to open that one. And like my son was really good about it though when he was really young. He got the whole collector thing.
Right.
A lot of the stuff I bought him, he never opened up. Like to this day.
Yeah, gotcha.
He has a huge collection of his own now too, but you know what I mean? It's like now he's got 4 kids, and I have some stuff that the kids are like, "Oh, that's mine." When you're gone, that's mine.
I mean, this is a lot of fun. Like I remember, like even in the 90s, Marvel would do just some cheesecake releases. The X-Men swimsuit issue.
Yeah, those
it
were
kind of
really
reminds
fun.
me of the fun and playfulness of this.
Yeah, that's kind of the spirit of. I mean, I could try to produce something that's today, but I can only produce 90s material. I don't know what it is, but that's where I'm. So I'm putting some Post-it notes on this piece of art that I'm going to show you, because obviously it's not suitable for Okay, so I got some Post-it notes on here, so that way this is what one of the backing board sketches will look like.
Nice little vampy there.
Nice little vampy. She's a arbitrary, generic vampire chick, because these are all parodies, right? So the backing board sketches, the full color ones, they're going to look like this, and then the black and white sketches are going to be done on brown tone paper. Huh? What's that?
Generavella? Is that what
Generavella?
It totally cannot be the other stripper-clad vampire heroine chick, because she doesn't have pants. I mean, I see a difference right there.
Exactly. She's so different. So yeah, we had a fun launch, and we were doing really well. We actually funded the thing set up at the top is like we funded in 15 minutes, which was great. That was a nice little boost. But yeah, having a little bit of reach, having our friends support us, and throwing our links out there and sharing it and stuff, that'll make a huge difference if everybody jumps in and grabs a little something. So that would be great. But I do also have two other things going on. There's a Zen Intergalactic Ninja project that we're working on right now.
Wait a second. You're not the author of Zen, are you?
I am not the author, although I've written for Entity Comics when we first started publishing Zen. Back in the 90s.
I remember him popping off in the 90s. I enjoyed Zen back in the day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's when we were publishing him. I did I wrote and drew the first probably 4 different miniseries that Entity Comics. I'm a co-founder of Parody Press and Entity Comics with Don Chin back when we were publishing in the 90s.
Nice.
So Steve Stern.
I'm even more pleased to meet you now.
Oh, yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks. Yeah, Steve Stern and Dan Cody are actually the co-creators of Zen. And lucky for me, when I first started drawing Zen, they were nice enough to allow me to put my characters into the book that I still own to this day.
That's
so
fantastic.
Nira X Cyber Angel and all those side spin-off characters, I still publish them to this day, and it's thanks to them. So it's the project that we're kickstarting in January. It's called Zen Bounty Wars. I actually got a web page for it. It's a little sign-up page. That way people get some early news about it. But we're hoping to launch the Kickstarter in January. For my birthday, because it's my birthday. and Nira X is 30 years old. So it's
we're going to get a copyright claim with that music in the background. I know it.
Oh, no.
Everything is birthday with this guy. I know it.
You see what happens? I know.
Birthday issue. Right
yeah,
here.
Nira X turned 30 this year. That's why it's it's this whole birthday thing has been kind of permeating into all my different projects. So we got Zen Bounty Wars hopefully coming out as far as the Kickstarter launching in January, and Committed Comics is my regular publisher for Nira X Cyber Angel. We're going to have Nira X Dark Seas #2, and I believe that Kickstarter is going to be in February. I know.
Very cool.
They're Nira X with a little bit of Crom being mischievous in the background.
I'm being serious. If you want to put this in the book, you can.
Oh, I appreciate it. No, I'm actually the book was already set up, but let me see if I could find a spot for it, because I would love to put that piece in there. I wanted to be published.
If you want to see the revised art that he could make out of this, back the next level.
Back the next level, exactly.
Or you could go just run over to the Roku campaign and get this right now for $100.
There you go. There you go.
Moss art right there.
That is nice.
And Bill don't draw too many dragons, y'all.
Oh, I draw lots of dragons at shows, but you won't see not a lot of books with dragons. You won't find a lot of stuff flying around. So my daughter's a dragon holic, so I draw a lot of dragons.
And daughter he refers to is the incomparable cat mouse.
The incomparable, the famous cat mouse. Which, by the way, this is the reason I was late today. She actually had surgery this morning, and she's doing great, by the way. She's everything's fine. She had some abdominal surgery that she needed to take care of some little problem there in the old abdominal area. So, but she's home. She's covered in pillows.
She didn't have to get a hernia repaired, did she? I just had to get a hernia surgery.
Oh no, that was me back in 2019. I had my gallbladder ripped out, and the doctor was like, "Oh, by the way, you got this hernia there," and I was just like, "Oh, that's what that was."
Yeah,
I think I'll fix that while I'm at it. Yeah, they basically threw me into a Jiffy Lube and just
just put you up on the rack. As long as we got you here, let's see what else is going on. Check the oil, kick the tires,
spin the rotors, turn the rotors while we're at it.
So I want to play this video on our way out.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you said you had 3 projects. What's the third project? So we got
Nira X Dark Seas was the third project. So number 2. So I'm thinking that January will be the Kickstarter for Zen Bounty Wars, and February will be the Kickstarter for Nera X Dark Seas #2 from Committed Comics. So that's what we got going on right now. And this the Club Corrupt one is a short. We only did it from Friday the 13th until Halloween. We wanted to just make it this really fun, short hit and run campaign.
I love the response, like for such a short campaign.
I'm blown
in the first
away.
15 minutes, and I'll tell you, as an old fan of Zen, I'm very excited to hear he'll be coming back next year.
Thanks, dude. And hopefully we'll talk again soon. If I'll say my email address right now because I'm so bad at reaching out. Please do throw me an email and remind me.
Right, and don't forget, get on Twitter. Contact Comic Crusaders.
Comic Crusaders, gotcha.
And let him know. Like Al's a good guy. He is like cool. He's like Pops here. Like he's just so fired up about supporting people because we love all these things, be it comics and movies and music. If we can help you get more eyes on your stuff, we want to do that.
No,
man, you're awesome, dude. Thanks so much. Yeah, I appreciate
you're welcome.
That. Yeah,
you guys are both in the madness on Facebook. You shouldn't have a problem finding each other.
That's true.
Well, I told you I'm all right brain. And sometimes I got to be led by the hand. It's like I love you guys.
Me too. I'll have to go back and watch this video to remember who I'm talking to because I'll forget his name in 15 minutes. But I'll know his face if I pass it. Hey, you're that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I'm built for pictures, and it's
the artist. It's the artist in this, man.
Yeah,
we're artists. We recognize images.
just remember, though, this is why I built the groups. You guys can all find each other.
I know. We need all the help we can. You got to shepherd us in.
Yeah, Pops, can you set us up with a business manager because us artists suck at business.
Look, if I could figure out how to get my own thing where we're making money, then I'd be more than happy to show everybody else how I did it. But I got
right now the only artist I know with a functioning left brain is my daughter. So it's like I don't know, she's got a mind for it.
We need comic book Elon Musk. And we'll just all jump under his banner like this guy knows how to make money.
There you go.
That's it. I want to thank you both, Jeff. Thanks for including me in your game and
absolutely glad to have you.
Giving Crom powers in life. It's going to be fun. I get to play Crom in a game. This is going to be awesome.
That's awesome. That's dope.
Just back it.
Always good to see you, my friend. You guys, Bill does a show, a draw stream, and he also is bringing his show to the madness.
Well, check that out.
Cool. Yeah. We're live. We do a little live stream on Saturdays, 10 o'clock.
Nice.
Bill Moss Art. That's my YouTube channel, and you'll find me there. And then on my Facebook, this is Bill Moss Art again. I always post ahead of time that if there's a link or something like that, so that way people can find the YouTube channel and stuff. So.
And it's always good. It's always entertaining. It's always fun. Go check out Bill's show.
Yeah, if you happen to all of a sudden get friend requests or stuff from anything with either a smiley face based superhero or just a smiley face dude, that'll be me hitting you up.
All right, man. That sounds cool. You know what? Since you know about Zen, I'm actually doing a live stream on Sundays at 10 o'clock with Steve Stern, the co-creator of Zen. We're just having, and
Sundays,
we just do a
sadly,
sit down.
Sundays is a big day for me. I mean, I'll watch it after the fact, but
sure.
I'm a big Christian churchgoer so my Sundays get pretty filled up.
It's all good.
So I do make a little time for some D&D after church.
Hey, you got to be thankful to God, man. It's like I wouldn't be able to have fun and draw silly boobs and have this kind of fun unless he had actually made me a universe to sit in and do this kind of stuff. So I'm glad he lets me do it.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that he blessed me with the talents that I have.
Exactly, man. It's like you do have to be grateful. It's the little things, man. It makes life worth living.
And with that, Thanksgiving next month. Okay.
And Pops, you said you got something to play. Play us out with something cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna play
us out, bro.
Video and then a couple other ones. And I want everybody to have a great night. Later tonight we got Romo Art with Ron Moscicki at 7 o'clock. Laurie Calcaterra's closeout stream for the Pale Rider tonight, 8 o'clock. It's all good. And then Eagle Rider taking the evening out at 10, doing her thing. So, we got a full slate of programming coming at you this evening.
Pops is a busy guy.
Oh, it's all action, my friend. It's all action.
All right. Thanks, Pops. Thanks, Jeff.
My pleasure.
We're going to play this thing. Let's do this.
All right.
Whoa.
I wish I could find a way to better advertise Apothic Press.
Just back it already.
Whoa, Crom, what are you doing here? What's this? The Madness Roku Network. Sponsorship. 1 month of playing your 30-second ad on the network 3 times a day? Oh my gosh, for $20? And you can't beat that.
Just back it already.
All right, Crom, I'm doing it. Awesome. Hi, I'm Tanner Hurley, founder of Apothic Press. I back the Madness Roku Network, and so should you.
Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
I told that moron not to take out my Tchaikovsky tape. No matter, let's get started. Here we are, Nancy Moon. The last time we left our heroine, she had just joined my esteemed colleagues at level M. And the soldier who can outstrip talking, a magician with money issues, and a vampire with a checkered past. But there are other teammates she's yet to meet. One in particular might be a little bit shocking for her. I do hope she's not allergic. Back it today, won't you? that correct? Meow.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.